This movie is called The Rhythm Section, and it's got Blake Lively and Jude Law in it. And I don't know why, but I was getting a sense of some sort of suspense type-ish thing, but it's very possible I am completely wrong about that. There is nothing that indicates in the title or in the people, or with the people involved, what sort of film this is, and I have not read the synopsis. So let us check it out and see. Okay, so some suspense. Excuse me.
I lost my family 3 years ago.
It wasn't an accident. There was a bomb on that plane.
I need your help to find the ones who did this. I've got nothing to lose.
What about your life?
What about it?
There's nothing left to live for, right?
I'm going to say this one.
That's what she feels like.
Even if you succeed, it won't be worth it. Bomb-maker in streets, walking the streets. Promise me you won't do nothing silly.
She can't make that promise.
Why are you here?
To offer you closure.
And how would you do that?
Violently.
You're much more human than I thought you'd be.
And that's a good disguise.
You don't have a clue about the scale of the mess you've caused.
So I was a little bit, I was sort of right. I felt like that it was going to be something that might be suspense-ish related, and it was, but then at the same time I wasn't quite sure. I don't know what it was that made me think that, because there was certainly nothing in the title to give me a clue, and I hadn't read the synopsis, and it might have been Blake Lively's appearance. She had a jacked up, ugly looking haircut, and it didn't fit her face, and she was looking very troubled in the thumbnail picture that I saw. So I think that was just a little bit of a subtle clue. But then I was like, well, I don't know, maybe not. So I checked it out, obviously, and I see that I was sort of right. I was right. One of the few times I've been, I've been right about most of them, but sometimes I've been completely wrong. But anyway, this reminds me a little bit of, just the premise reminds me of movies like Collateral Damage with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, where he was taking vengeance on the people involved in the terrorist attack that killed his family. Also, The Foreigner, very similar type of, story, similar type of theme going on, revenge stories. This looks interesting, and I always find it interesting, like how they can write stories, how these little David type personas can somehow manage to successfully take revenge on or disrupt organizations or groups that have all this money and power behind them, and that have done these horrific things. And this one little person with spunk can go and destroy everything, mess everything up. Now, obviously in real life, this is not very feasible. Most people don't have the ability to do this sort of thing. But it makes for an interesting story, right? Because it sort of fulfills all of the types of wishes maybe that we have, or like feelings that we think we would probably have if something like that happened. Like we would want to take matters into our own hands. We would want to seek vengeance for what happened. And when it's just on a smaller level, smaller scale, a person going after a single person. But when you expand it outward, like globally, a person taking on a terrorist organization, or a person taking on a corrupt bureaucracy or a corrupt government or whatever, it just sort of magnifies everything. It's like, how in the world? So a big part of me is curious to find out, how is she going to do this thing? And I am definitely interested in this particular film. I'm highly skeptical that it will be enough to draw me to the theater, even though I have a feeling it might will come to the theater that I typically go to. But I don't know. There's some other stuff coming. Oh yeah, Bad Boys 3 is coming out in January, I think. I remember recognizing that, January is just not typically the best month for movie releases, but I might go see Bad Boys 3 in theaters. Don't really know so much about this one, but it is one that I'll keep my eye on the different streaming services. So, okay. And, well, I think that's it for this one. It was an interesting trailer. It actually felt like it flew by, to tell you the truth. It was just under 2 minutes, but it felt like it went by much quicker than that. So it's kind of interesting how that happened, which happens sometimes. But I feel like it was well done. I didn't, maybe a teeny tiny bit, they showed more stuff than they probably need to. A lot of it very repetitive type of scenes that we were seeing her, kicking people's butts and everything, fighting and all that sort of stuff. They probably could have taken some of that out, but as a whole, it wasn't awful. So kind of really no huge complaints as far as that goes. But okay, that's it for now, you guys. Later.